All right, guys, I'm here to talk to you guys about how to bounce back from a relapse. Now, let's get this out the way. We understand that you're going to relapse, right? But you have to understand, like, how your body, you got to listen to your body after you relapse. You got to see the error. You got to know your body. You got to understand that, yeah, you relapsed, but you wasn't feeling how you felt when you was retaining. You wasn't feeling as good as that. You got to really, like, feel how you feeling in your body. You know? You got to understand that you got to just step up your discipline. You got to step up your discipline. If you don't want to feel that same feeling from you relapsing, you got to change your way of thinking. You got to change your train of thought, bro. This is how you going to bounce back. You guys a lot of you guys are just relapsing because you're just not over, what you thought was complete normalcy and good for you. You're not over that. What's good to you is not what's good for you when it comes down to relapsing. So you guys got to understand that. That's what you guys got to understand. And you have to bounce back, you have to just make your mind up and just continue to keep retaining. A lot of you dudes are having trouble with being alone. This is why you keep relapsing. But how you going to bounce back from that? You got to spend more time alone. With no females around. So you can really think for yourself. So you can really cleanse yourself. So you can really focus on yourself. So you can bounce back from that relapse. It's not that hard, fellas. Maybe it's hard to y'all. And it can be hard. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is you have to make your mind up. You got to change your focus. That's how you're going to bounce back from that relapse. You have to change your focus. You have to value yourself more as a man. That's how you're going to bounce back from that relapse. I'm telling you, you have to value yourself more than relapsing, than women. You got to put yourself on that pedestal. You guys, that's how you're going to bounce back from that relapse. You have to have that stability in your state of mind. You have to have that discipline in your state of mind. You have to have that self-control in your psychological mentality. You got to reprogram yourself. That's how you're going to really bounce back from that relapse as well. A lot of you dudes, I know y'all want to retain longer, but your programming and your way of thinking is and your sexual desires is just holding you back from that. But how you going to bounce back is, okay, I'm going to just make my mind up that it's about me now. It's not about relapsing no more. It's about me now. That's y'all problem. Y'all focusing on relapsing. So you're going to relapse. Your sexual desires is at a higher level than your discipline. Your feelings, you putting feelings over your mindset. Your mindset want to retain. Your feelings want to, relapse. Your feelings end up leading you to your sexual desires to relapse. But your mind, you really want to continue to retain. So you have to put your discipline and put your mindset and your self-control before your sexual desires. That's how you're going to bounce back from the relapse. You got to go harder, man. You got to go harder in the paint. You do. It's how bad you want it. It's how bad you want to better your life. This is how you're going to bounce back from this relapse. And another way you can bounce back from this relapse is finding purpose. If you find your purpose, bro, I am telling you, your purpose, that sexual energy, you can transmute it and transfer it into your purpose. Once you do that, and you make your purpose your addiction, you make your purpose your addiction and make it your happiness. If you truly make that your happiness and find your purpose, I'm telling you, that's how you're going to bounce back from that relapse. Because you're going to just continue to keep retaining. Why do you think I've been on such a long streak? I'm almost 2 months in. I'm probably 2 months in. I got to double check. But, hey, I'm doing the right thing with this sexual energy. I'm just doing the right thing. You got to do the right thing when you on semen retention. You got to discipline your mind. It's a guy told me that, I was like, you felt better when you was on semen retention. When you was on semen retention. He was like, yeah, but he was like, I can't do that. They keep, these chicks keep bothering me or texting me and stuff like that. I'm like, bruh, like to me, that was just an excuse. Like, just cut them off. Cut them off. That's y'all problem. That's why y'all can't bounce back from these relapse. Y'all can't bounce back because y'all are just so caught up in your sexual desire in females that you want to cut them off. You want to cut them off to better your life. That is sad, fellas. That is sad. If you can't cut females off for 1 year or 2 years just to focus on yourself, that's why you can't bounce back. All you need to do is cut them off for a certain amount of time. Try to cut them off for like 1 year or 2 years, or however, just to get to your purpose and just to, better your life. That's how you're going to bounce back from this relapse. This is the only way. You got to cut women off completely. A lot of y'all going to have to do that. Just the only way you're going to have to, that's just the only way you're going to bounce back. It's just the truth. It's the truth, bro. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you don't feel like a man because you feel funny, bro. Bro, that don't mean that you sweeter than a piñata. That don't mean that, bro. You're still a man. You're just trying to bounce back from this relapse and focus on yourself and do the right thing with this sexual energy like you're supposed to, so it can lead you down that path of greatness. The only way you can bounce back from this relapse if you become, hungry for success. When it comes down to benefiting you, not dealing with women, not dealing with relapsing. If you are hungry for success when it comes down to bettering your life, this is the only way you're going to bounce back. Then your sexual desires won't be there. Because semen retention is going to naturally, once you retain for a certain amount of time, it's going to discipline you. Like, it's going to be installed in you, instilled in you. Like, it's going to really discipline you. You know what I'm saying? This is the only way you can bounce back. You can't bounce back if you want semen retention, but you're not doing anything. You got to do something, bro. You got to keep yourself busy doing something that's going to better you. That's why a lot of you guys are relapsing. You're not busy enough. You just sitting around texting females. You lacking self-control. When you truly gain self-control, that's how you're going to bounce back from the relapses as well. When you truly gain self-control and gain, discipline to not do anything sexual, that's how you're going to bounce back. You guys got to make y'all mind up. You just got to make your mind up, bro. What do you want? The choice is yours. It's up to you what you want to do with your life. You keep wasting time. The older you become, the closer you are to being done with life. Y'all guys got to remember that. So get on your purpose. Find something that you truly love to do and monetize it and just go with it. Find something that make you happy. That's not sexual. That's it. That's it, bro. You won't have to be worried about, bouncing back from a relapse if you continue to bounce forward on semen retention. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. Me on semen retention, I feel so good. Like, why would I want to relapse? And it's making me feel bad. Like, some of y'all just addicted. Y'all got to reprogram yourself. That's all I'm saying. It's how bad what you want out of life. I want purpose. I'm through with that. I'm just so through with this relapsing. I just made my mind up to just stop. I'm sick and tired of it. It ain't helping me. It ain't giving me nowhere. Life inside. It's not giving me no life inside when I'm relapsing. It's dying my battery. My battery's, every time I relapse, my battery die. I like to be charged. I like to be charged now. So it's all up to you. Hope you guys got something out of this video. It's Semen.